Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, making some really good trades, and yep, let's just get into it. And right now we can see that Bitcoin is back down to $39,660. Again, getting a big update today. Well, I wouldn't say big, but getting a nice little update today, reaching about 40,700 before we came all the way back down to retest 39,300. Now again, right now we opened our new daily candle and it looks like we are starting to come down again at the moment. If we do touch this point, I still expect a bounce at the moment. And if we do get a nice bounce, it's possible we go up to at least 42,000 to 43,000. Again, I still think we might get a bounce before we start to roll over and retest this sign of support once again, and then start to break it before we get another bounce at 37,700. Again, obviously this is not 100% guaranteed. It's very it's possible that we do break this line and we go right to 37,200 to 37,300, and then we get our bounce from there. So it's not always guaranteed, but again, you want to take this into account right here. You guys can take a look. We have Bitcoin bouncing off this trend line right here, acting as a significant level of support. You can look on a little bit of a shorter time frame. You can see we are bouncing right now at 39,200, and 250 or basically 300. But if we do get a wick down, it's possible we come and touch 38,750. As we can see on the smaller time frames on the 4 hour, we have had some wicks down to this trend line right here. Boom, bounce, and then the beautiful bounce right there. So lots of bounces off that trend line, so always take that into account. So if you guys want to see these charts, you guys can join the Discord. This is a BTCTA1 charts. I've always saved this and always updated every single day after work and during when I make my videos as well. And right now on Market Cypher, if you guys haven't noticed, we have a weekly red diamond, so extremely bearish right now. And in all of history of Bitcoin for Market Cypher on the weekly time frame, we have never gotten a red diamond with a red cross. So this is really pretty bad. It's significantly bad. So it's a big red diamond with a red X on it. I think BitBoy Crypto likes to call it a blood diamond, even though it's just red. But yeah, overall this usually signifies a lot of downwards momentum. So you guys can take a look here on some shorter time frames. On the daily time frame, you guys can see we got a red diamond there, and then we started the day after that we proceed to come down a significant amount. So always take that as a sign that this could be, this could have been the top at 48,000, and now we're going to head toward lower levels. Again, there's not just that we have a red dot on Market Cypher B at the moment. We have the money flow starting to cut back in, the VWAP starting to cut back in. Again, the money flow is still in the green at the moment. It's basically almost at the zero line, but once we cross into that red, like I said before, if we do cross that red line, I'm going to put my marker right here, and then from there on I expect maybe 4 weeks, and we'll find our Bitcoin bottom after that. So let's just leave it here for now. But again, we haven't crossed into the red yet. Let's just reset that chart right there. We have crossed into red in the past. I'm gonna go over it again a little bit right here, and you guys can see we crossed into the red and we got that 50% correction again, from 7,000 down to 3,200. So 54% correction there. And right here, back in 2014, we crossed into the red money flow, and boom, right there, it took us 12 weeks, and then we had a 54% correction again. So if you are going to get a correction, now would be the time. And if we do correct, a 54% or basically a 50% correction from here would bring us to around $20,000. Again, I still expect Bitcoin to come down with the traditional markets, and especially today we got some pretty big news in the traditional markets. We know that the CPI data came out today and it was pretty bad, worse than expected. Let's take a look right here if it's still on the charts. I don't think so, no. But so basically the CPI data was forecasted to be 8.4%. They increased it from 8.2 from last week, and we still overshot it. So we were at 8.5%. So you can imagine if they kept our target at 8.2 and then we got 8.5%, that would have been a big miss on the CPI data, and the markets would have sold off extremely fast. But again, today we had a rally in the Nasdaq, so it looks like they were pricing in significantly worse inflation. So we had a nice rally today up to 14,300, but after that giving up all its gains and ending in the red, because as you know, the investors take a look at the data and how much the Feds are hiking rates, it's significantly not enough. You know, they're not doing enough to fight inflation, so they're gonna have to raise rates way past, you know, a quarter basis point. They're gonna have to raise them to 5, 10% to actually fight inflation if they're serious about it. But we all know that they won't be able to do that, because that would crash the economy, that would crash the stock market, because of the amount of debt that they carry now. It is just impossible for them to fight inflation accordingly. So you'd already know what they're going to do, most likely, is, once the market starts to tank, they're going to stop the rate hikes, they're going to stop quantitative tightening. That can wait. We need to re-stimulate the economy. They're going to go back to money printing, and they're going to go back to quantitative easing. And if we still have high inflation by that time, then you already know that, speculative assets are going to explode. Scarce assets are going to explode. So gold, silver, oil, everything else commodities are going to go crazy. So get ready for what happens when that does happen, and when the Fed does, decide to hit the brakes on quantitative tightening. All right, now let's move on. Let's take a look at Ethereum right now. Back down to $3,000 in the 3,011 at the moment. Again, we haven't touched 2881 yet. It's possible we do get a wick down tonight in the overnight markets, and then possibly a bounce from there and go back up to 3160. Again, this is not guaranteed. We are holding that psychological level pretty well at the moment, so $3,000 is holding for the time being. If we do go back up, you want to take a look at 3160. But for me, I'm going to be looking for around 42,000 to 43,000 if we do get a nice bounce from these levels, at which point we will exit our Bitcoin position. But again, we want to get past this level right here, which is 41,500. We did get a nice bounce from there before, but we eventually broke down. So if you guys want access to all my trades, you guys can join the Telegram group, which, by the way, we are fixing at the moment. So if you do join the Telegram, just send me a message and I'll send you an invite link. And if you guys want to join the Discord, then you get access to the stock trades and the crypto trades. But if you don't want both, you can always purchase just one. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. You guys have been awesome. Lots of craziness in the markets today. A little bit of a quick update near the end of the video. Our natural gas trade looks like it might be turning in our favor in the coming days. As we can see, natural gas is extremely overbought, and we got a nice little bit of a reversal candle right here. So let's see if tomorrow's candle is red. It's possible we do start to come down from these levels. Natural gas, in my opinion, and oil, by the way, is a great way to sanction the Russians. So if they really want to hurt Russia, the US and the rest of the world can start pushing gas and oil prices down to force Russia into submission. It's very possible. That's a very good possibility, because that's basically their biggest exports, in my opinion. I think that's a fact too. It's not just my opinion, but if they force their hand, and in that case, Russia might give in to Ukraine. But you never know, because today some news came out that Putin's not going to give in at all, and the peace talks are a dead end. But just we'll stay tuned on the news. Russia, that situation is always changing. But yeah, overall, not very bullish in the long term. In the short term, I do expect a Bitcoin bounce, possibly coming back to as high as 43 to 42,000. But again, get ready to re-short, because this was a beautiful short, by the way, 43,300. So if you guys entered a short right here, you would have made some nice gains. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. You guys have been awesome. And as far as the traditional markets go, you might see a green day tomorrow. The overnight markets are green, but that could always change. Love you guys. Peace. If you guys haven't already, you guys can sign up for Big Get Training. Links in the description, and it helps support the channel. Also, that's where I do all my crypto trades. Peace.